Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the KSS stitch, or the knitted single stitch, which is found in our circular crochet vest pattern. So for those of you who already have that, you're very familiar with this stitch, and I get a lot of questions about it, so I just figured I'd go ahead and start a video. This is going to be my first video, but it's certainly not my last, because I'm going to do an intro video in the next day or two. So anyway, if you want to get more information on the stitch, you can find it in the let me just show you the leaflet. It's the Savvy Single Crochet Stitch. Can you see it there? Put out by Annie's Attic. Alright, and it looks like this stitch was designed by Karen Woolley. So the main difference in knitted single crochet stitch versus your traditional crochet stitch, traditional single crochet stitch, is that instead of working in these front and back loops as we traditionally do, if you flip your chain over, you will see that you have rear loops. Aha, yes, rear loops. They oftentimes go unnoticed because most patterns do not call for you to work in the rear loop. So you hardly even recognize them, but they're there, and that's what we're going to be using for this stitch. Alright, let's begin. I'm going to insert my hook in the second rear loop from the hook. That first skip chain counts as your first stitch. Okay, I'm going to yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over again, pull through both loops. That's it. Do that one more time. Insert my hook through the rear loop. Okay, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. And just to simplify this a little bit for you, once you insert your hook through that rear loop, you begin with traditional crochet. You would pick back up with your traditional. So it's the same thing. The only difference is, instead of working these front loops, you're working this rear loop. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through another loop. Okay? You would do that all the way across your chain, working in those rear loops. Alright, so I'm going to set this just right here, and I have crocheted a couple rows, started a little swatch here for us. Okay, I want to point out that once you finish this chain, once you get across this chain, your rear loops are going to look slightly different. They're going to be positioned slightly different. Okay, and let me show you what I'm talking about. In chain one, I'm going to turn my work, and as you can see, the rear loops are facing you. They're directly in front of your face. There's no flipping, no anything to find those rear loops. They're right here. Okay? And actually, if you flip it, you will see your front and back loops, which is traditionally what we work in. But in this case, bam, we're working in these rear loops. Okay? So let me just go ahead and do a couple. Insert rear loop, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through another loop. Let me do that a little bit closer. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through another loop. Okay, that's it. That's your KSS stitch. I want to show you something that's very important that you need to know in order to keep your work nice and squared and evened up. When you get to this last stitch, or the last two stitches, let's just go with the last two. The second to last stitch, we're going to do your KSS stitch. So we're going to insert through the rear loop and just finish it off with your traditional single crochet. When you get to this very last stitch, which is also your chain one, okay, because remember that was our first stitch, you're going to use traditional single crochet, whereas you will insert your hook through both loops. Let me just spread that apart so you can see I have 2 loops, and just a regular single crochet. Okay, let me do that one more time for you. If I had 2 stitches left on this row, that second to last stitch would be a KSS. In this last one, stitch, aka your chain 1 made at the beginning of your previous row, you're going to insert your hook through both loops, spread that out a little bit, and do a traditional single crochet. Okay, now I'm going to move right into the next stitch that I wanted to go over with you, which is going to be the KSS 2 together. So chain 1, turn your work, and this is the decreasing technique that we use. So we're going to insert our hook in the rear loop, the second rear loop from the hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, leave these 2 remaining loops on your hook, go directly to your next stitch, insert the hook through the rear loop, yarn over, pull through a loop. Now you have 3 loops remaining on your hook. Close those out with a yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and you're done. Let me do that one more time for you. Insert your hook in the next rear loop, yarn over, pull through a loop, insert your hook in the very next stitch, in the rear loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, close it out with the yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, that's it. That's all that's to it. Okay, so just to review, we went over the KSS stitch, we went over the KSS 2 together stitch, and we also went over how to end each row. Okay, check back for more videos. Immediately following this one, I'm going to work on a couple more of the stitches that's used in the circular crochet vest pattern, and also the X stitch, which I get a lot of questions on that as well. So hopefully that video will help that stitch make sense as well. You can find us at Facebook under Gu'Chet. You can find us on Etsy, Ravelry, YouTube. All of those are also under Gu'Chet. And our website is www.gu'chetdesigns.com. So check us out there. We have some really nice trendy crochet design patterns out there. So check us out. I'm going to include links to all of our contact information at the bottom down here in the comments. So if you need to get in touch with us, you can. You can always shoot us an email at gu'chetdesigns@gmail.com. Alright guys, take care. Thanks.